So would you say for the youth that are engaging today, like you talk about the 40 hours that they have to do for their curriculum, but we're trying to make it more aware that youth can learn so much more than just their 40 hours. It's about learning social skills, communication skills, marketing skills, organizational skills.
One initiative we started a couple of years ago, we have a partnership with one of our high schools with the leadership class. And each year on the Friday of the fair, which Friday evening we have a huge high school show. So the high schoolers all wind up there eventually. But I take 2 students from the leadership class and they become my one-day interns.
Wow.
And they just hang out with me for the day. They help me with a few different things. It's just within the hours of the school day. But they come along, they help me run a rally for elementary school students that we do early in the day. I take them on a tour of everything, not just the fairgrounds, but also the places you don't see when you go to the fair.
Right.
I explain how we do things, what it is to be a part of a volunteer organization, and try to tie that also into the leadership thing, that this is a part of being in your community, this is a kind of option that you may have someday. And we've done that for a couple of years now, and it's just we get different kids who don't have a connection to the fair other than going to it.
I guess the word must get around, and if the kids start talking about it, what a great opportunity it is, so they would share it that way.
Well, I hope, and by having, some of our greatest junior volunteer ambassadors are our own kids. The majority of our junior members at the moment are part of fair families, and their friends see things and see what's going on, and then some of them get involved.
Just a little question on different. Some fairs are experiencing community growth within their geographic area.
Yes.
Some fairs are losing their grandstands to parking lots for condos or downtown areas. I think the Caledonia Fair is situated on a nice chunk of property that might not happen. But I know there's been changes over the years.
Yes.
But what would you say the Caledonia Fair's momentum will be in not losing the importance of the agricultural and the fair itself?
We identified about 10 years or maybe even 20 years ago now that the day of the livestock show is, as a mass appeal, is losing its interest. And we have to find different ways. And we've become very involved in agricultural education edutainment, I think is the term.
Yes, it is, yes.
How to entertain people and subtly, at the same time, without them knowing, teach them something.
It's funny, we did an interview with the St. Lawrence Parks Commission in Fort Henry, and they came up with a Live in 5 strategy, how to be financially, fiscally independent within 5 years, but they had coined, I don't know if they coined it, but that phrase came up, edutainment.
Yes.
So it's kind of a hidden, we're educating you while we're entertaining you.
Exactly.
And even the public, engaging young families into how
That's a lot of what we're trying to do, because livestock shows are still a heritage piece of the fair, and there still is definitely a market for them and for people who want to see them, and it's still very important. But all it takes is one major virus going through in the livestock community, and suddenly you have no show, so you need to think of other things to do. We had a challenge a year or two ago. We discovered that our sheep show just wasn't drawing people. It wasn't getting enough new exhibitors and everything. And we thought, why are we doing this and spending money on this for no one to see? And instead, that committee took the same budget and put it into a wonderful demonstration and exhibit area that was interactive that people could come up and see instead. Has a lot more value to the public. And our roots are all in agriculture. Our fair board is very diverse. We have pretty much every kind of profession on the board somewhere or other, but we are still rooted in agriculture. And as an agricultural society, it's still one of the prime parts of our mantra and our reason for existing. But yeah, the best way to promote or to ensure the future of agriculture is to give people realistic impressions of what's really going on. And that's learning about where your food comes from, what's involved in all that. We can do so much more with creative exhibits and demonstrations.
That's true. We had recently visited the Canadian Agriculture Museum in Ottawa. They have a display on rotting food, the science of rotting food, and they do a fast video of a rotting hamburger. And so they're teaching the kids, this is how you preserve lettuce, so they get back into the roots. That this is how you preserve. This is how this came about. The time lapse to see, in a fun, engaging, kind of gross you out as a youth. But the kids are now interested. They're interested in what you have to say now because you've come on their level in today's, 2014.
Absolutely.